Okay guys, and welcome to another episode of IQ Option. But specifically today I just want to show you how to avoid big negatives as you're entering a trend. So last week I was working on a strategy where me and my clients were using a strategy where we have only zigzag, and we were like, zigzag can work as a solid strategy without any other combination. For example, we can take off this MV open. Later on I'll be explaining this. It's not a big deal. So today we are focusing on our zigzag. So actually let me just remove all this such that we can focus a little bit clear. Okay, now this is our zigzag. So before we proceed, I think I would like to first explain which zigzag. Okay, in our last video we saw how to use this zigzag, and I tried to explain, but I think I can go over again very fast. Now this is a zigzag strategy. It's the one that we are using to trade, and we are planning to add on some other parameters like the market and the wheel of the trend. But first and foremost, you need to first grab basics concerning the zigzag strategy. Some people use the zigzag, just the zigzag, to trade on a daily basis, but I think it would be good to first learn the basics. So basically, if you look at the zigzags we have zigzag 100, which is this, the one that is so red, or some people call it maroon. Then we have zigzag 60, which is this little bit pale, sort of yellow, sort of. We have also zigzag 38, the one that is bigger than the rest, I mean the small ones. And then we have zigzag 4, zigzag 4 and zigzag 1. Zigzag 1 is the last one with the yellow color. So let me try to show you how I tried to set up this. I did. Okay, so this is what we have: zigzag 38, zigzag 100, zigzag 60, and zigzag 4. So if you look at the colors, I think we should start with the one that can be the big one, the big man, the big boss, which is zigzag 100. Now it's the one with I think the biggest size, and also the deepest colors. I mean the one that are bright enough. It's this one here. Then this is 60, this is 38, this is 4, and this is 1. Okay, so those are the parameters that we have. So for those who don't know how to set up zigzag, I did a video last time. I will put a link in the description, and for sure you will just have to follow the link and watch that video, then you come back here and continue. Okay, so now basically we wanted to see when to enter a trend for people who are using zigzag strategy solely, or even if you're adding some other parameters, as long as you're using a zigzag strategy. Now these are the 4 cardinal, are they 4? They're around, I think, 6 cardinal points that you shouldn't leave out before entering a trend, as long as you're using the zigzag strategy. Now, number 1, note this. Number 1, never enter a trend, be it a downtrend or an uptrend, bearish or bullish, without having a 100 zigzag. Now 100 zigzag is for us here we call it the big man. When he comes, he puts all the doubts aside. All these falls, you see now this 100 had not yet come. but the market was starting, the trend was starting to change from an uptrend to downtrend. So people who probably entered from here as the 60 was changing, you know, 60 went into, now maybe something else that I forgot to explain before we proceed. On my system, on my zigzag strategy, red represents a downtrend. For example, if this red came here, it means that what follows is a downtrend. And when a green comes here, like in all parameters, a green or a light blue, something like that, yeah, those are the two colors that I use mainly for an uptrend. It's a green, a light blue, and a blue. So these two colors, green, three green, light green, and then blue, represent an uptrend. Then anything that is similar to red or maroon, or this little bit light something, then and the yellow, they are all representing a downtrend. Okay, so now if that is done, now for example, this red was indicating that we are heading for a downtrend, and this currency NZCF will probably be in a downtrend for the next week. So people who are planning to enter, I think stick with me, watch this video until it ends. NZCF is going to be in a downtrend for the next week, actually for this whole week till Monday, trust me. Now this is the good part with zigzag. Zigzag comes a little bit early, it shows the direction of a trend, and then, you know, if you're using this zigzag strategy, you will find yourself making only profits, and mostly in forex. It's also efficient in cryptocurrencies. The bitcoins and the Binance coins have been, the Litecoins and the Ethereum have been using it in crypto, but mainly today I just want to explain it in forex. I've realized very many people like forex and they use a lot of funny strategies, and yet this zigzag strategy can really do miracles here. So let's go ahead. Now, what I was trying to say, the first principle, number one, never enter a trend, be it a downtrend or an uptrend, without having the support of the big man. Now, for example, if you have, make sure when you're entering an uptrend, you have the big man, which is zigzag 100 on. And of course, the major rule that we follow for zigzag, you only enter a trend, down or up, when all zigzags are indicating the same trend. For example, if we said that color red, this red and light red, something like that, then a yellow are our color codes for a downtrend. Then green, light green, and the blue are our color codes for an uptrend, for different, of course, zigzags. Now, for example, this light green is a color code for an uptrend for zigzag 60. Deep green is a color code for an uptrend for zigzag 100. Blue is a color code for an uptrend for zigzag 4, and I think also 38. And as you can see, you know, you can really tell the difference. Now, everything is indicated as you see. Now, what I wanted to say is this. Principle number one, and it is almost the sole principle that we follow in zigzag. Always enter a trend when a zigzag is solid. Here we call it solid. What I mean by solid is that it must be in the same color or indicating the same trend, right from zigzag 4, zigzag 1, zigzag 4, zigzag 38, zigzag 60, and zigzag 100. Now later on I will be explaining the next video. Please, you can subscribe if you want to see these videos coming up. In the next video I will be going over explaining the cores. Why did we choose 4, 38, 60, and 100, and not these other figures 50? It's a magic number. It's sort of a magic, you know. So I will go ahead and explain deeply, show you how we came up with this strategy. Okay, so I was still telling you that if you're planning on using this zigzag in forex, trust me, you will always make only profits. Now you see, for example, I entered this trend at a wrong position, though it's going to make profits. So by the end of the day, you will find that it will be around here in thousands of profits. But we entered at the wrong spot because we defied principle number 1 of the zigzag. Though we are still in downtrend, so it still has a very big chance, almost 98% of making profits. Now, my first principle, or our first principle here that we follow, zigzag must be solid. And being solid, this is what I mean. It must be in the same color. Why am I saying that this trend, I entered this trend at the wrong position? I entered this trend when this zigzag one was in green, indicating an uptrend. There is a certain percentage of people at that point that are buying. That's what it means. But at this point here, where zigzag 1 was in red, zigzag 4 was in also in yellow, which is also indicating a downtrend, zigzag 38 also in red, zigzag 100 also in red, zigzag 60 also in red. So all zigzags we are representing only one position, which is a downtrend. So at this point, this was the perfect point. Before this came, this was the perfect point, perfect entry of a downtrend. And assuming that somebody entered at this point, just imagine if somebody entered at this point, by this point you would be in thousands of profits. Trust me. So that's how good the zigzag strategy is. I will be airing live streams as I'm making professional, as I'm entering my good trends, and you people will be able to copy the same, and maybe you'll be able to do it even when I'm not online. But I will be doing it like on a daily basis. I'm planning to make a premium package. I'll even make it free. People will be sending you a link for the live stream. So I will be live streaming on a daily basis as I'm trading using different strategies. Now for today, this is the zigzag strategy for people who are using only zigzag strategies. And I recommend also, if you're using another strategy, I recommend you add the zigzag on top. It will give you a clear picture of a comparison of other parameters that you're using in your strategy with what the zigzag is doing. Zigzag actually gives you direction. After it tells you that now we are heading for a downtrend, then you can consider other parameters like the momentums, the volumes, just like you can see them here, the volatilities, the averages. People like using moving averages. Then you can start using this. But first and foremost, first wait for the big man here in the strategy to show you. And if you realize, when the big man comes 100, by the time it comes, everyone is on his side, meaning that he comes when everyone is on. For example, he came at a point whereby every zigzag was in a downtrend. And guys, now if you want to enter a very clean an entry point, a very clean entry point for the downtrend here, you will probably wait for this for this one, this is zigzag 1, to bring another red color indicating a downtrend. And therefore now when it brings a red color, it will have paired with this red 100, red 60, red everything, meaning that zigzag will be whole again, and that's the right point to enter the trend. So for people who want to see me entering a trend, you can try to browse around your history and see it if it is true. But we've tried this like 1,000 times. It's a documented strategy. Now for example here, when zigzag came, zigzag 100, zigzag 60 was also indicating the same thing, zigzag 4 was indicating the same thing in between there, zigzag 38 the same thing, and I think zigzag 4, yeah, this is 4, was also indicating the same thing. So from zigzag 1, zigzag 4, they are all indicating an uptrend. And let me see, this is when, which date is this? This is it was around 23rd of the 8th month. Yeah. And if you look at the last point where we had and by the way, if you're using zigzag, some of you people, I know they're asking me, when do you leave the trend? Now, when do we leave the trend? When a 60 comes, you leave the trend. That's the closing point. For example, now at this point. When this 60 came, it came at this point here. This is when we left the uptrend, because what followed then in a few days, probably 1 or 2, it was a struggle of power, takeover until the downtrend started winning over, and we therefore went for, let me first cross this, we went for a downtrend. So within this struggle, make sure you're not present within this struggle. Never enter trend within this place. So when your 60 comes, leave the trend. Maybe some people will be asking me, I just want to use the 1 hour interval. I use the 30 interval. Some people use even a day interval, which is a little bit tricky, but it's actually the best. The bigger you go, the more accurate you become, and it's actually better for investors. It shows you the big picture, where the coin is going, where the currency is going. I would recommend for now, for good investors, people who are investing some good money in Forex, people who have experience and have been trading, I would recommend you use probably 1 day. Those are for big traders. Then 12 hours also for big traders. If you look at it in 1 day, still it's very perfect. Zigzag has never gone wrong in 1 day, very perfect. Then also in 12 hours, very perfect. Of course, we've been doing it in 12 hours. Then you can switch it to 8 hours. People who are dealing in 8 hours, it still indicates the same thing. It shows you that at this point it started an uptrend, and all this uptrend has been happening, and at this point it has started downtrend, and probably this downtrend is going to happen for the next week. For 2 or 3, but I don't know, it should have started, for example. Okay, it's a little bit late, 17th. So the downtrend started officially on 20th. It's now 2 days down the road. You're still in the downtrend. That's in 8 hours. Most people use 4 hours. You can go for 4 hours. It's still okay in 4 hours. It really covers. It depends on your screen, as long as it can scroll over and get fixed on your screen. But I think these are the time intervals that I recommend. 1 day, from 1 month, 1 week, 1 day, then 8 hours and 4 hours. Then looking at one week, 1 month, which is 30 days, it's so perfect. You don't need to involve even the 60, because it's almost the same. You just use only 100. Remember here, 1 bar represents 1 month. Now, for example, this 1 month, the whole month, this currency was falling. People made money. People really made money. Because, of course, the zigzag had seen it from somewhere here, that in this next probably 1, 2, 3, 4 months, the coin will be falling. And this month where we are, the coin has actually just started going up. But remember the principle, we say never enter without zigzag 100, indicating that within the coin has been going up on average, though if you look at the last point where it came from, it is still a little bit down, so still struggling to get on its knees. Okay, now weeks. This is what happens in weeks. Just follow your zigzag, everything will be fine. In a day, this is what happens in a day. Now for people who are coding EAs, expert advisors, you can just code that one on zigzag. You tell it when zigzag comes, zigzag 100, or even when the payout wants enter a bullish or a bearish trend. Okay guys, now I think the most important thing that I wanted to air out for today was that the first and foremost and most actually is the biggest rule of zigzag strategies. Never enter trend when a zigzag, not even if all these zigzag 38 and what are all representing a downtrend, and a 4 or a 1 comes out to oppose them. Don't enter. Wait until it goes on the same side and also represents a downtrend, and make sure that everyone is now on the downtrend side. Then you enter downtrend. There will be very safe and very sound, and you will be assured of your profits. You can try to navigate around your history. Look at this. Our 100 came at this point, and I'm very sure everyone was on his side. Look what happened. And now, for example, what I've been telling you, if you're in around I think 12 hours, most people use 8 hours, which is very okay for me too. You can go back to our 12-hour interval. Now, for example, let me use this uptrend as an example. When this zigzag came, the zigzag 100, you had only the points at which the other zigzag agree with it. Now, at this point, everyone was in an uptrend. Then later on, 4 and 38 started opposing. They brought the red color, meaning that some percentage of the people there were selling. So you don't enter. You wait this guy until this guy brings another blue, which is an uptrend. Now at this point, the zigzag was pairing again. It had all colors now at this point going up. So you would have entered at this. This was the right time to enter an uptrend. Then all these bars, you made profits. Then at this point, it's the zigzag one brought another red color, meaning that a small percentage of people, though we are in an uptrend, but some people are selling in uptrends. So a small percentage you are selling. Please don't enter. In fact, if you are in you are previous in an uptrend, first close it in profits. I'm sure you're in profit. If you entered here, by the time you're here, you're already in profits. So please take off the profits, and I will be showing you how to set take the stop loss and take profit. And then you wait until it agrees with everything. Then enter again. This is another 1, 2, 3, 4 bars. Probably here somebody made over 500% of his bid. And at this point, you have a 30, not only 4, but also 38 is getting involved. They are now yellow and red, a 34 and a 4. They are all on one side. They're just telling you that now a little bit more people are selling. A smaller, not smaller, but a little bit smaller, of course smaller than the buying. They are selling. Please leave the trend. Take the profit that you have. Wait until it goes to blue, and then now the zigzag again pairs again, because if it goes to blue or green, it means that uptrend. The zigzag 100 was already in green, meaning uptrend. 60 was already in green, meaning now it has paired at this point. You enter again, take all these profits. At this point, it is telling you, please leave the trend. Some small percentage is selling. Leave the trend, and at this point enter the trend again, make this profit. And at this point, these two people, 4 and 38, are telling you to leave the trend again, take profit. And I told you at a point where we have leave the trend, you realize that more people that are selling, they are now increasing. Sellers are increasing in the market, and I will show you that using the market, the wheel, and some other strategies that we normally add on. So this is just the beginning. I'll be adding, showing you how these people are seen. How do they come to, have a small decrease? So at this point, they again bring blue, indicating an uptrend, and they pair with these ones. These ones, the 60 and 100 were red and green. They had not changed that until here at this point. So at this point, you entered another uptrend, and probably at this point you shouldn't have entered any other trend, because the 60 had came, showing you that more than 50% now we are on the selling side. So finally the uptrend stops there, because if more than 50% are selling, it means now they are taking over the market. The more power is now pushing down. Very many people are selling in the market. So leave the market. Close whatever you had. For example, if you have entered at this point, leave the trend at this point. I'm sure you would have made thousands of profits just from here, or even around here. Probably you entered very late here. Up to this point, you've made your profits, thousands of profits, probably 2,000%. So you leave the trend and you wait until our zigzag 100 again comes, indicating the next trend. and then you enter. The same technique that you use here is the same technique that you use as you're going forward. Okay guys, thanks for the watching, and the next video will be people who want more of these strategies, trading strategies, to make more profits of your. Make sure to subscribe to our channel, and you will wait for these, monthly, weekly videos. And as I promised you, I will be probably next week. My programmers are still, organizing the live event. We shall be airing our live event of a daily trading. So you will be trading with us for free. So you get on a live stream, see what we are doing on a daily basis live. As you're making profits, you're making profits. You can choose to copy what you're doing, or you learn from us and do it on your own. Okay guys, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Bye bye. I'll catch you in the next video. Thank you for watching.